political organization, we pass rapidly in review the administrative organization of the empire and called attention to the principal material benefits of that epoch. Let us now cast a rapid glance over its political organization. In the first place, let me be permitted to say that I consider the tendency which exists in France to desire always to copy and adopt the institutions of foreign countries to be a misfortune. Under the Republic, people were Roman. Then the English Constitution appeared to be thought the masterpiece of civilization. The titles of noble peer and honorable member seem more liberal than those of tribune and senator. As if in France, that country of honor, to be honorable was a title and not a quality. Finally arose the American school. Shall we never be ourselves? England, it is true, has offered us for a long time a splendid spectacle of parliamentary liberty. But what is the chief element of the English Constitution? What is the foundation of the edifice? The aristocracy. Suppress the aristocracy, and in England there would be no political organization. The same as in Rome, said Napoleon. If religion had been taken away, nothing would remain. In the United States of America, we see also great things. But what single point of comparison is there between that country and France? The United States have not yet become a social world, for the organization of such a world presupposes stability and order, stability, attachment to the soil, to landed property, conditions impossible to fulfill so long as the commercial spirit and the disproportion between the number of inhabitants and the extent of territory shall cause land to be considered as merchandise. Man has not yet taken root in America. He is not incorporated with the land. His interests are personal, not territorial. In America, commerce stands in the first rank. Then comes manufacturers and last agriculture. It is in Europe reversed. France, in many points of view, is at the head of civilization, yet it seems to be doubted whether she may give herself laws which are uniquely French. That is to say, laws adapted to her own wants, modeled upon her own nature, and in harmony with her political position. Let us adopt from foreign countries such improvements as long experience has consecrated, but let us preserve in our laws French forms, French instinct, and French spirit. Politics, says the writer, M. Danu, is the application of history to the ethics of society. The same may be said as to constitutions. It is necessary that the compact which unites the different members of a social organization should derive its form from the experience of the past, from the present state of society, and from its prospective spirit. A constitution should be framed specially for the nation to which it is to be adapted. It should be like a garment which, if well made, will fit but what man? In a political point of view, the emperor could organize France only provisionally, but all his institutions contain a germ of improvement, which at the restoration of peace he would have developed. To begin, let us establish one truth, namely that when the French people proclaimed Napoleon emperor, France was so fatigued by disorders and continual changes that all concurred to invest the chief of the state with the most absolute power. The emperor had no need to covet it. It was thrust upon him by as much as public opinion had formerly demanded the diminution of executive power because it was deemed hostile. By so much did opinion exert itself to augment it. When it was satisfied that the executive power was tutelary and remedial, it depended only on Napoleon to have neither a legislative body nor a senate. So weary were men of those eternal discussions kept up, as he expressed it, by a mob of men who disputed with acrimony about the tint before having secured the triumph of the color. The Emperor Napoleon did not commit the fault of many statesmen, that of desiring to subject the nation to an abstract theory, which becomes, in such case, for a country, a bed of Procrustes. He studied, on the contrary, with care the character of the French people, their wants and their present condition, and upon data acquired, he organized a system which he could continue to modify according to circumstances. Where should I have been, said he, face to face with all Europe, with a government built of ruins, the foundation of which were not yet firmly seated, and those forms to be continually combined with new circumstances, depending even upon variations of foreign politics. If I had subjected these combinations to absolute methods which admit of no modifications, and which are efficient only because they are immutable, the predominant idea which presided over all the internal establishments of the emperor was the desire to found civil order. France was surrounded by powerful neighbors since Henri IV. She had been the object of the jealousy of Europe. She required a large permanent army to maintain her independence. That army was organized. It had its colonels, its generals, its marshals, but the rest of the nation was not organized. And by the side of this military hierarchy, by the side of these dignities to which glory lent so much luster, it was necessary that there should be civil dignities of equal weight and influence. Otherwise, the government would always be in danger of falling into the hands of a fortunate soldier. The United States saw for us a striking example of the inconveniences which attend the weakness of civil authority. Although in that country there are none of the fermentations of discord which for a long time yet will trouble Europe, the central power being weak is alarmed at every independent organization. For every independent organization threatens it. It is not military power alone which is feared, but money power, the bank. Hence the division of parties. The president of the bank might have more power than the president of the country for a much stronger reason. A successful general would soon eclipse the civil power. The Italian republics, as in England, the aristocracy constituted the organized civil order. But France, having happily no longer any privileged bodies, it was by means of democratic hierarchy, which should not offend the principle of equality, that the same advantages were to be secured. Let us examine in this point of view the constitutions of the empire. The principles upon which the imperial laws were settled were civil equality in harmony with the democratic principle, a hierarchy in harmony with the principles of order and stability. Napoleon was the supreme chief of the state, the elect of the people, the representative of the nation. In his public acts, it was the emperor's pride to acknowledge that he owed everything to the French people. When at the foot of the Pyrenees, surrounded by kings and the object of their homage, he disposed of thrones and empires. He claimed energy, the title of first representative of the people, a title which seemed about to be given exclusively to members of the legislative body.